Go ahead. Now, where are we starting, Mr. Geary?
Well, we do have the Megan Beeden matter to put on the record. I'm going to pinch hit for Miss Hagan Lawrence on that. If you're ready to go, I know that they were.
It's Miss Bade.
Correct.
Megan Beeden, is that?
Dan.
All right.
Okay.
Or you might have missed Dan sits. She's had a
Absolutely.
traumatic brain injury. So.
All right, so we're on the record in docket 2400949. That is People of the State of Michigan versus Megan Beeden. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Garrett.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Joel Gehring, appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And then is it Mr. Crampton?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Jeff Crampton on behalf of Ms. Bedan. Stacy.
And ma'am, you are Megan Bedan, is that correct? All right, thank you. This is the time set for a jury trial today. I think it's going to be a plea. Mr. Gehring, how are we proceeding today?
Thank you, Your Honor. It's my understanding this is a high BAC case. We are going to amend that charge to an OWI and are willing to enter into a Killebrew agreement for no upfront jail. And for the record, would not oppose any application to the circuit court regarding hardship. So I believe those are the.
Okay, so there's a Killebrew no jail. It's an operating while impaired. Is that correct?
Correct.
Or intoxicated?
Correct.
And that's a 93-day and or
500, I believe.
So is it an impaired or intoxicated?
We're going to go to intoxicated. Yeah.
Okay, so it's operating while intoxicated. 93 days under $500. Is that right?
Correct.
We received community living reports and
then Killebrew no jail. That's a sentencing agreement between the attorneys. And then what else did you say concerning the?
For the record, if there's an application to the circuit court regarding a hardship waiver, we wouldn't oppose that.
Okay, and I don't. So explain that to me,
So,
Mr. Crampton.
Your Honor, Ms. Bedan got an implied consent suspension for not taking the breath test. She never challenged that because she was in the hospital after her traumatic brain injury.
Right.
And so we may go to the circuit court and ask for a hardship license, and they've agreed that they won't oppose it.
Okay, concerning that's between her and the Secretary of State and the cert and the restoration petition or
right
requesting it.
Yes.
I got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So let me reiterate that for the record, Mr. Crampton. This is a plea to the operating while intoxicated, 93 days under $500. There's a Killebrew agreement between the attorneys of no jail time, and then if the defendant chooses to object to or to petition for a hardship license, the Secretary of State, the city of Lansing has no objection to that hardship petition.
That's
Is that correct?
That's correct. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Crampton, may I inquire of Ms. Bedan of her advice of misdemeanor rights on this misdemeanor plea?
Do you want me to?
I'll do it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just asking you.
Yes, you may.
All
Yes.
right. All right. So, Ms. Bedan, you understand that you have the right to be tried by a jury, to be presumed innocent and proven guilty, to have the prosecutor prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, to have witnesses against you appear at trial, to question any witnesses that are brought against you. You are represented today by attorney Mr. Crampton, and he would be present to cross-examine any witnesses or contest any charges brought against you by the city of Lansing. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. You have the right to have the court ordering witnesses in your defense to remain silent during the trial, not to have that silence used against you in a testified trial if you choose to testify. If your plea is accepted, you'll give up the claim the plea was a result of anything that we've not put on the record. All right. We've placed everything on the record, and it was not due to threats or there was not your choice to plead guilty. You're also giving up the right to appeal anything from a trial since we won't be having a plea having a trial in this matter. You'll be pleading guilty to the operating while intoxicated amended count. Is it your wish today to plead guilty to the amended count of operating while intoxicated?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right. I'm going to be raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm? Other right. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury? Okay. All right, I'm going to take your attention back to November 15th, 2023 at the offense location of 420 South Walnut in the city of Lansing, Ingham County. Were you operating a motor vehicle open to the general public on 420 South Walnut Street in the city of Lansing on November 15th, 2023?
Yes.
Okay. And at that time, did you have a blood alcohol content of over 0.08? Did you later learn that you had a blood alcohol level of over 0.08?
I later learned.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Anything towards the factual basis, Mr. Gehring?
Nothing from the city, Your Honor.
Anything, Mr. Crampton, on the
No, Your
factual
Honor. Thank you.
basis? I find the factual basis to be knowing, voluntarily, and accurately made, and will refer to probation, mostly for the assessment, but there's also a Killebrew agreement, and we want to have that looked at by probation.
We've had, Ms. Bedan has had an assessment. We don't have the report yet.
Okay.
So
Oh,
we'll let
perfect.
probation know.
All right, so let the probation know that. That should expedite things on some level. But we'll refer to probation. Probation's on the 5th floor.
Okay.
City of this building. So if you go right back down, and what they're going to do is they're going to prepare a report for me, and then we'll see what options are available for us at sentencing. All right, ma'am?
Okay.
All right, so we're going to refer to probation. We'll set sentencing for
October 8th at 1:30.
October 8th at 1:30. And you have that a date, Mr. Crampton? It's October 8th at 1:30.
Okay, I can do that.
All right, perfect. All right, so I will see you at sentencing on October 8th at 1:30, and we'll decide what options are available to us. Ms. Bedan, right?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Gehring, anything else for the record in 24-00949?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Mr. Crampton?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, you're all set, ma'am. Thank you for your appearance. Where did you want to go next, Mr. Gehring?
Okay. We will proceed with docket 24-01996, Joseph Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, you can come up here. We're on the record in docket 24-01996. That is the city of Lansing versus Joseph Johnson. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Gehring.
Joel Gehring on behalf of the city, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, standing in for Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Mr. Joseph Johnson, who is standing to my right.
And sir, you are Joseph Johnson, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. This is the time set for a final pretrial in the matter. Mr. Gehring, how are we proceeding?
Well, I'm not sure. We did subpoena the officer in this case. I'm not sure if they're here by Zoom, if there's anyone up there that.
I have a Joseph Mazembe, who I believe it is on the docket for 9 o'clock. And then I have an iPhone, and let's see if we can, sir, on the iPhone, could you identify yourself, sir, or ma'am on the iPhone, could you identify yourself?
Riley Crawford.
He's also on the docket for today.
Okay. Let's see. Who's it? I didn't get the name.
Riley Crawford,
Riley.
also a 9 o'clock hearing.
All right, so this is a final pretrial. Law enforcement is the witness you're looking for, is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Correct. So it's not a complaining victim or anything along those lines.
Correct.
So what are you requesting today, Mr. Gehring? Did you want to leave this on for jury trial, or how we proceed?
I would leave it on for jury trial, Your Honor, but I will defer to Ms. Sutter for any additional.
Ms. Sutter?
Thank you, Your Honor. My previous discussions with Mr. Garing were leaning towards if there was none of the subpoenaed witnesses appearing today, that this file would be dismissed. Given that, I would be requesting that today, Your Honor. The witness was subpoenaed, law enforcement are out, they were subpoenaed for today. My concerns with appearance today continue on into appearing for a jury trial, so I'd be requesting a dismissal of this file today.
All right. And this is from a ticket written by Mr. Slobin. Did you get any correspondence or anything from Mr. Slobin concerning this file?
No, I did receive confirmation that the subpoena was sent. To my knowledge, we did not receive any response to that.
All right. Well, I mean, it's generally not, we generally dismiss the case, and we often do it when the complaining victim doesn't appear. Usually, and that's a lay person. I feel less confident doing it when a law enforcement doesn't appear, because there could be various reasons for law enforcement not showing up. Rarely is it because they don't want to show up. It could be because they don't want to show up. I don't know. But Miss C. I'd say we leave it on for jury trial.
Okay.
Yeah, I think at this time, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Mr. Slobin's thinking today. If he doesn't show up for jury trial, then there is no case, and obviously there's a proof problem. Not having any information, Mr. Slobin, although he was subpoenaed, he could have a family conflict. He could have all these things. And I do the same for the complaining victim if they contacted the court and said that they were like in the hospital or something along those lines. So I simply don't know. We simply don't know. But if Mr. Slobin chooses to come next time, he should be asked these questions like, why didn't you answer your subpoena? You know, this is obviously problematic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the motion under advisement. There's a motion to dismiss. I'm going to take it under advisement.
Understood.
So motion to dismiss from the defendant is taken under advisement. We'll leave on for jury trial for September 3rd at 8:15. I think the nature of the proofs here are a one witness case.
Correct.
If I see the complaining signatures, but I'm going to leave it on for 8:15. And then we'll go from there. But the motion I have written, the motion to dismiss is taken under advisement, because if we appear September 3rd and witnesses are not in order, then I'm going to grant that motion. I'll tell you right now. Okay.
Understood.
All right. So anything else for the record in 2401-996, Mr. Garrett?
Nothing from the city, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter.
Just a note for the record, Your Honor, supplemental discovery was filed in this case. We are still awaiting discovery on that.
All right. So there's a discovery issue out, and I'll leave it to counsel to take care of that if available. If not, we can meet and we'll understand. We'll meet and talk about why it's not available to counsel, if there's any motion filed. But at this point in time, I'm gonna write that in the file that there's still a supplemental request for discovery. So, Mr. Johnson, this is a long way of saying it's set for jury trial on September 3rd. You might hear before that we don't need that date, but at this time, September 3rd at 8:15. Okay, sir? All right. Anything else for the record in 2401-996, Ms. Sutter?
Nothing further.
All right. We're all set. Thank you for your appearance today.
Thank you. Your Honor, might I have a moment to confer with Ms. Sutter before we start?
Absolutely. Let's see. And then I can let you know who's on Zoom too.
Thank you. I did see Alana Callahan on there as well.
Yeah, it's Ms. Callahan, Crawford, and Muzembe are on Zoom.
Ready to go on the Henry Cox matter.
All right. All right, so we're on the record in docket 24-02243. That's the people of the city of Lansing versus Henry Cox. Appearances for the record, Mr. Gehring.
Joel Gehring on behalf of the city, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, standing in on behalf of Assistant Public Defender John Lee, on behalf of Mr. Henry Cox, who's standing to my right.
And sir, you are Henry Cox, is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Mr. Gehring, how are we proceeding?
Well, Your Honor, as you know, that this is a furnishing false information case. We are going to adjourn this matter for 30 days for some compliance issues and follow up then just to see where we're at.
And that's a fair statement, Ms. Sutter.
It is, Your Honor. Mr. Cox is going to be completing some community service hours.
So we'll adjourn for 30 days for compliance purposes.
September 10th,
We'll reset for
September 10th.
September 10th at 9 a.m. So Mr. Cox, please keep in contact with Attorney Ms. Sutter. We've reset this for September 10th at 9 o'clock. Anything else for the record in 24-02243, Mr. Gehring?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter.
Nothing further.
All right, you're all set, Mr. Cox. Thank you for your time. And sir, from the Ingham County Jail Post, can you please identify yourself?
Gregory Taylor.
Gregory Taylor?
Yes.
All right. Stand by, Mr. Taylor. You're in the right place. We got a couple files to go in front of you. All right, sir? All right. All right. So let's call Mr. Garnett. Is that right? All right. So we're on the record in docket 23-02349. That is the city of Lansing versus Rory Garnett. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Gehring.
Thank you, Your Honor. Joel Gehring, appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, standing in for Assistant Public Defender John Lee, on behalf of Mr. Garnett, who's standing to my right.
And sir, you are Rory Garnett, is that correct?
Yes, Honor.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for that person again. For a pretrial in the matter. Mr. Gehring, how are we proceeding?
We're going to go ahead and move forward with a final pretrial, Your Honor.
So we'll leave on for final pretrial. And so the final pretrial is set for
August 27th at 8:30.
August 27 at 8:30. And then Mr. Gehring and Ms. Sutter, did you want a jury trial, a corresponding jury trial, or should we set that after we have the final pretrial?
I think we should set that after the final
All right.
trial.
So we'll have the final pretrial set for August 27th at 8:30. Anything else for the record in 23-02-349, Mr. Gehring?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter?
Nothing further. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Garnett, we'll see you on August 27th at 8:30. All right, sir? Thank you. And then we'll call Mr. Williams.
Yes, Your Honor. Grease Williams.
Right, so we're on the record in docket 23-02-189. That is the City of Lansing versus Drees Williams. Will the parties please introduce themselves to the record? Mr. Gehring.
Joel Gehring on behalf of the city.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, standing in for Assistant Public Defender John Lee, on behalf of Mr. Williams, who is standing to my right.
And sir, you are Drees Williams, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a City of Lansing pretrial. Mr. Gehring, how we proceed?
Your Honor, we have reached an agreement whereby we will amend this to a breach of the peace.
So it's amending to civil infraction of breach of the peace.
Correct, Your Honor.
I think that's $150 fine.
Correct.
Correct.
And you'll be accepting responsibility on your client's behalf, Ms. Sutter.
I will, Your Honor.
All right. And that's your that's your understanding, Mr. Williams. We'll be amending the misdemeanor to the civil infraction of breach of the peace, which comes with a $150 fine.
Yes.
All right. So it's not a misdemeanor. It'll just be like a civil infraction, like a speeding ticket. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So on behalf of your client, so we're working from the same ticket. This is a ticket L27964 for conduct that occurred on July 12th, 2023 in the city of Lansing. Do you accept responsibility for your client being in breach of the peace?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And does your client need some time to make that $150 payment to the city of Lansing?
Yes, Your Honor. 30 days.
So we'll set it for 30 days to the city of Lansing. I think that's August, September 12th. All right. So that'll be September 12th. The city of Lansing. That can be paid in person, online, or by phone. So by September 12th, that'll give you 30 days to get whatever finances in order. If you don't make that payment, this could go to warrant. It could go to show cause warrant, and you want to stay out of that cycle. All right, sir?
Okay.
All right. Anything else for the record in 23-02-189, Mr. Gehring?
Nothing from the city, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter?
Nothing further.
All right, you're all set. You're all set, Mr. Williams. Thank you for your appearance today.
Okay, thank you.
And then so while Megan is bringing up Mr. Badgley,
I'll hop on Zoom.
did you want to meet with someone?
Yeah.
We can put you in a room. Let's see. I'll go ahead and. So who did you want to meet with first?
Mr. Muzembe?
Mr. Muzembe, and then there's Mr. Badgley. So I'm gonna put Mr. Muzembe in a room, and then when you join us, Megan can put you in. All right, Mr. Muzembe, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with your public defender. All right, sir?
All right.
You should get a prompt to go to your room. All
Okay.
right. And we put you into, I think.
Yeah.
So I should go get Mr. Badgley now?
Yeah, go get Mr. Badgley. And then, Mr. Taylor, we're gonna put you in a room with your public defender, I'm gonna put you in room 2, and when she gets done in room 2, she'll run over to room 2. When she gets done in room 1, she'll run over to room 2. All right, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Schroeder, how are you?
I am well.
Right, so Mr. Crawford, or I should say Riley Crawford and Alana Callahan. Thank you. Alana Callahan. We're gonna place you, each one of you, in a breakout room once the attorney gets out of their meeting with their client. So it'll be a few minutes. So just so you know, you're in the right place. We're gonna get you in a lawyer. We're gonna get you in a room with your attorney.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Sutter, we have Mr. Badgley in room 2. So if do you want to see him next, and then we can put Miss Crawford or Miss Callahan in room 3, because we're still awaiting for. I'm sorry, we have Mr. Taylor in room 2. Mr. Badgley still being brought up.
Fair enough. Yes, Your Honor, I would like to speak with any of the 3 individuals.
All right, so let's put that. I'm going to put you in a room with Mr. Taylor. And so you should get a prompt to go to room 2. Miss Crawford. All right, Miss Crawford, I'm going to put you in room 3, and once the public defender is done, she'll be there to see you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Crawford. 3. And then Miss Callahan, I'm going to put you in room 4. All right, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, see, you can. I ain't seen nobody yet.
We can go on him if the court would like.
All right, so Mr. Taylor, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, and I don't believe he has any control or access
I
over
don't,
the system.
we need that unmuted for, or else
It was certainly unmuted a minute ago.
Yeah,
it
did,
was, and I think we muted him. And then
yeah, I think Megan may have. Is that muted?
Oh, well, I'm sorry, I thought he was.
I don't
Two
have him as
different
unmuted.
screens.
So Mr. Taylor, I think you're muted right now. So let's contact the Ingham County Jail to unmute you, because I don't think he,
Yeah, sometimes it's easiest just to have.
All right, Mr. Crawford, we'll call your case. We're on the record in docket 24-00520. That is the City of Lansing versus Riley Crawford. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Garrett.
Good morning, Your Honor. Joel Gehring on behalf of the city.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, standing in for Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Mr. Crawford, who is joining us via Zoom.
And sir, you are Riley Crawford, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you can hear me all right, Mr. Crawford?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Mr. Gehring, how we proceed?
Well, Your Honor, we have reached an agreement whereby we will reduce the charge here and amend it to an OWI.
All right, that's operating while impaired or
Intoxicated.
intoxicated. And that is the 93-day and/or $500.
Correct.
Correct.
Well, I think that can be confusing. Well, but we'll make it. So it operating while intoxicated is the amended count 1. And amended count 1. With a plea to count, with the amended count 1, the regular 0.17, the higher BAC is to be dismissed. Is that correct, sir?
That is correct.
All right. And that's your understanding, Ms. Sutter?
It is.
All right. May I inquire of Mr. Crawford of his misdemeanor advice of rights?
Yes.
So you understand, Mr. Crawford, that the ultimate sentence you could get in this court is 93 days and/or $500. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to read you through some of your trial rights that you're waiving in this matter, and then we'll go on to your plea. You have the right to be tried by a jury, to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, have the prosecutor prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, to have witnesses against you appear at trial, to question any witnesses that are brought against you. You are represented today by Attorney Lauren Sutter, and she would be present to cross-examine any witnesses or contest any charges brought against you by the City of Lansing. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to have the court order any witnesses appearing in your defense to remain silent during the trial, not to have that silence used against you, and to testify at trial if you choose to testify. If your plea is accepted, you'll give up the claim the plea was a result of any promises other than what's been stated on the record concerning your plea agreement, or threats that it was not your choice to plead guilty. You'll also be giving up the right to appeal any issues from trial since you won't be having a trial today. You'll be pleading guilty to the operating while intoxicated 93-day misdemeanor and/or $500. It is at your wish today to waive your jury trial rights and plead guilty to operating while intoxicated.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to have you raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to bring you back. I'm going to bring your attention back to May 30th of 2023 at the offense location of 408 North King Boulevard in the City of Lansing. Were you operating a motor vehicle open to the general public on May 30th, 2023 in the City of Lansing at King Boulevard?
Yes, sir.
And did you later find did you later find that you were driving, that you were over the 0.08 limit, or that your ability to operate the motor vehicle was substantially or materially affected by consumption of alcohol? Either or, it's up to you. Did you later learn you were over 0.08? Or did you learn that, or did you learn it after the time that you were substantially materially affected, making you intoxicated at the time?
Yes, I learned afterwards.
You learned, all right, so you learned your BAC was over a 0.08 afterwards, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Anything towards a factual basis, Mr. Gehring?
Nothing from the city, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter?
Nothing further.
All right. I find the factual basis to be knowing, voluntarily, and accurately made to the operating while intoxicated. And we will set this for, so I'm going to refer you to probation, Mr. Crawford. So you should come and within 48 hours, you should come talk to the probation department. That's the 5th floor of City Hall of Lansing. And they're going to ask you a bunch of questions. They'll probably set up an assessment. And then they'll do a report and it'll get to me. And then we'll look at what options are available to us on the date of sentencing. All right, sir?
And Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
He does not live locally. He lives quite some distance away. Would the court be willing to allow him to make that first contact with probation by phone call
Yeah.
to set up that appeal?
First,
Thank you.
yeah, so first contact, in order to get the ball rolling, first contact with probation, you can tell them where you are, and then we'll go from there, you know. But at some point in time, they're gonna do a report. But your first contact with probation can be by phone.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
And he has completed an assessment that I can share with.
All
the
right.
court.
Yeah, and make sure that probation has that assessment.
Absolutely.
All right. And then we'll set the sentencing date for
October 8th at 1:30.
October 8th at 1:30. So go ahead and contact 54A District Court Probation, and we've set your sentencing date for October 8th at 1:30. All right, Mr. Crawford?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else for the record in 24-00520, Mr. Gehring?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter?
Nothing further.
All right, you're all set, Mr. Crawford. Thank you for your appearance today.
Thank you. You have a good day, Your Honor.
You too. And do you want to go on Mr. Jones?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we're on the record in docket 23-03749. That is the City of Lansing versus Mark Jones. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Gehring.
Your Honor, Joel Gehring, appearing on behalf of the city.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, standing in for Assistant Public Defender John Lee, on behalf of Mr. Jones, who is standing to my right.
And sir, you are Mark Stephen Jones, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Here's the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Mr. Gehring, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we will request an adjournment of 30 days to check on compliance issues moving forward.
Is that a fair statement, Ms. Sutter?
It is, Your Honor. Mr. Jones is meeting with some counselors, and I think the city would just like to see confirmation he's attending.
Okay. So we will wait for confirmation. And we will set for 30 days out. For September 10th at 9 o'clock. So Mr. Jones, please keep in contact with your attorney. It'll be Mr. Lee will be assigned to the courtroom.
Yes, sir.
But we're gonna set this out for 30 days on September 10th at 9 a.m. All right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Right, anything else for the record in 23-03749, Mr. Gehring?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter?
Nothing further.
All right, Mr. Jones, you're all set. Thank you for your appearance.
You have a blessed day, yeah.
You too.
Oh, yeah, so I ain't got my glasses, I can't see.
Yeah, so this is my name, and that's John Lee's.
So they got the time I supposed to come on it.
Yeah, so this is the date and that's the time.
September.
Tuesday, September 10th at 9 a.m.
Okay. Let's see it. Being 16 years old, he's right. Right.
Now, what-
Well, I still got to go, they said they want me to leave, I gotta go talk to Judy, my probation officer.
Yeah, go downstairs and talk to her.
What floor is that now?
5. You're welcome.
We'll call Joseph Muzembe. Docket 2401-894.
Joining us via Zoom.
What's that? Oh, he's joining us.
Mr.
That's
Muzembe is on
correct.
Zoom.
That's. All right, Mr. Muzembe, we're calling your case and the, looks like the associated tickets. So on the record in 2401-894 and ticket out 24L2875001003 and 531. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Gehring.
Good morning, Your Honor. Joel Gehring on behalf of the city.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Public Defender Warren Sutter. I'm appearing today instead of Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Mr. Muzembe, who joins us via Zoom.
And sir, you are Joseph Muzembe, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you can hear me all right, Mr. Muzembe?
Yes, sir, I can.
Right, this is the time set for a pretrial in the matter and the extent and the associated tickets. Mr. Gehring, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we have reached an agreement whereby Mr. Muzembe will plead to the speeding ticket and we will drop all other charges that are pending.
All right, so this will be in terms of the plea offer.
Looks like we'll be getting rid of, I think the registration, which was originally on here, has already been handled. So I think
All
we'd
right.
be getting rid of
So,
the no registration.
so dismiss tickets in 24L28765531. Dismiss ticket in
24L28750001.
003 or 001.
I'm sorry, yes, 003. He'll accept responsibility in 001. And then I think it's a dismissal of 24-01894.
All right. And we'll dismiss file 2401-894. And then that's. So that's on the ticket too. Perfect. All right. And then Ms. Sutter, will you be admitting responsibility on behalf of Mr. Muzembe on 24L28750001,
Yes,
which
Your
is the
Honor.
speeding ticket?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And what's the fine on that one?
I believe it's 135, Your Honor.
I
16 to 20.
believe the 135 is for the 5 over.
Oh, that's correct.
I've got 180. Does that sound right?
That does sound correct.
I kept finding 160 and 180 based on where I looked, so 180 sounds.
Yeah,
It would have to
just
be.
in case.
Yeah.
So
Somewhere.
Yep. All right. All right, so we're working from the same ticket. That's your understanding, Mr. Muzembe, that you'll be pleading responsible through your attorney, Ms. Sutter, for the civil infraction of driving over 16 miles an hour. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And driving over 16 to 20 miles of the posted speed limit. That I think that makes more sense than just driving over 16 miles an hour.
Yeah.
All right. So Ms. Sutter, we're working from the same ticket of L287500 for a conduct that occurred on June 19, 2024 in the city of Lansing. Do you admit responsibility for Mr. Muzembe speeding over the posted speed limit of over 16 to 20 miles is what he was written for?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And that's a fine of $180. Does your client need some time to make that payment to the city of Lansing?
Yes, Your Honor, if you'd allow until next Friday.
All right, so we'll set it, we will set payment, $180 fine to the city of Lansing. That'll be on Friday, August 23rd. So you have till Friday, August 23rd to make that payment of $180 to the city of Lansing. All right, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else for the record on any of these files? That's 2401-894, the accompanying tickets, Mr. Guerin.
Nothing, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter.
Nothing further.
All right, Mr. Mizembe, you're all set. Thank you for your appearance today.
All right, thank you.
Then we have Mr. Silva.
Yes, Your Honor, he is here in person. And I've been filling in Mr. Gehring a little bit on what had been happening with this file since it was slightly unorthodox.
Yeah. So this is a sentencing.
It's finishing sentencing.
It's a finishing sentence.
Yes, we previously started it and we were all looking for confirmation and receipt of confirmation of probationary terms and receipt of the assessment done by Eaton County, which was received.
Looks like it was received at least by August 8th.
Yeah, they sent it about a day after we were here last time.
All
And
right.
I believe it was sent directly to court staff as well as myself.
So you've had the opportunity. So Mr. Gehring, is there any restitution on this matter?
None that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I don't think there's any. And Ms. Sutter's right. This was initially set for sentencing in the matter. And then we've kind of delayed sentencing for some paperwork because he didn't want to duplicate anything. So Ms. Sutter, you've had the opportunity to go through the updated report and talk to Mr. Silva allocution on his behalf.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, this is Mr. Silva and I have talked at length about this situation as well as what's been going on in Eaton County. And I had a number of lengthy conversations with Ms. Hagan Lawrence about this previously. There was perhaps not a kilobrew, but a strongly and jointly held sentencing suggestion that probation here be low reporting or non-reporting probation with orders to comply with the probation that was ordered in Eaton County. And the court sought some confirmation that he was on probation there and what those terms were. Those have at this point been received. We were also looking for receipt of the assessments that he wouldn't have to pay again for that. That has also been received. I think Mr. Silva has demonstrated to both this court as well as the Eaton County Court an eagerness to do what he's supposed to be doing here. He's an individual who's looking and seeking growth and evolution personally for himself and in all of his dealings. He's been someone who's been forthright with me about how he best moves forward for himself and for this court. And I have no doubt that he's going to be successful moving forward with his Eaton County probation here. I would then ask the court to go along with our suggestion of that non-reporting probation, that being that he's minimally supervised here in Ingham County with orders to complete all terms of probation in Eaton County, which he is. He was originally given a 14-month term of probation. He's obviously a little bit into that now. In terms of fines and costs here, I would ask the court to consider that he is on Eaton County probation, and those fines and costs there tend to be quite a bit heftier here in Ingham County. So his finances are quite tied up in trying to prioritize the cost of probation there. And I ask the court to take that in consideration when assessing any fines and costs here.
All right, thank you. Mr. Gehring, would you like to be heard on the case?
I have nothing further to add to this one.
All right, thank you. Mr. Silva, anything you'd like to say to the court before the court passes sentence? All right. I agree that some of this was confirmation out of the 56A district court that you were on probation to them for an extended period of time. You've shown up every time. You appear to be doing whatever you need to do to make this a learning experience as opposed to a destructive experience, which this could really turn into a destructive appearance. And with that understanding, I'm going to comply with the updated report and place you on 6-month non-reporting probation. The terms of probation are really just to comply with 56A District Court probation. They've got you 14 more months. So they've essentially got you 8 months after us on some level. But that's non-reporting probation. I'm going to set fines and costs, $100 fine, $100 cost. Crime victims' rights fee of $75, state of $50. So that comes to a grand total of $325. And then I'm going to make that payable in 6 months. So that'll be made after the 6 months when your probation is done. So we'll make that as a part of the non-reporting probation, okay? Which should give you some time to make those payments and get your finances in order, all right? So the $325, 6 months out.
Was there an upgrading cost recovery in
None.
there? Okay. February 10th.
So we'll set it for February 10th, 2025. That'll give you some time to set up your own plan, pay off that debt because you want to get off of any show cycle or any show cause cycle. I've had the opportunity to look at your back at some of your criminal history, sir. And this is kind of the learning moment time as you appear to have taken it, okay? That any continued use of alcohol is going to be seen with this history as destructive. It really is. You know that, and I know that, and that's why you're working so hard at it right now. Every day is going to be a vigilant fight. Okay, that I know. But I'm more worried about you, Mr. Silva, 5 years from now than I'm worried about you now. Okay, because 5 years from now you're going to have to make good decisions concerning how you're going to approach your relationship with alcohol, and it's been destructive in the past. So I'm hoping for good things. Okay, I really am. All right. So you're put on non-reporting probation. I've made the notes in the file. Anything else for the record in 2401-210, Mr. Gehring?
Nothing from the city.
Ms. Sutter?
Mr. Aaron, is there any need for him to check in with probation today, or is he set to go?
He probably should, just in case, check in with probation, make sure it's non-reporting update. But I've got a report from Ms. Bayless that 56A District Court is going to be the probation that you'd follow. But just to keep things, just to be safe, he should check in. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll print out that JOS just for the file.
Thank you.
Because we kind of bifurcated that a little. And did you want to go on Ms. Callahan?
We can, Your Honor. Has ICJ unmuted Mr. Taylor?
Yeah, let's go to Mr. Taylor while we have him. That's a good idea.
Yeah, Your Honor. And then we are also already on the gentleman in the courtroom as well.
All right. So, Mr. Taylor, we'll call your case. We're on the record in docket 24-01639. That is the City of Lansing versus Gregory Taylor. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Gehring.
Thank you, Your Honor. Joel Gehring on behalf of the city.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, standing in for Assistant Public Defender John Lee today on behalf of Mr. Taylor, who joins us via Polycom.
And sir, you are Gregory Taylor, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, and you can hear me all right, Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Mr. Gehring, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we have reached an agreement in this matter to amend this charge to a breach of the peace.
It's a civil infraction with a $150 fine.
Hold, Your Honor, we're gonna confer here real quick. I want to make sure that,
No, what's your criminal register?
oh, I've got the wrong note on that. We were gonna, yeah,
If we were to know fines and costs of this,
yeah, that's right.
we can argue which of the people taking on things, right?
That was the one,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Mr. Gearing, do you want to rephrase?
Yes, I had two things up. I crossed out one and it was probably the wrong one. My
Okay.
mistake, Your Honor. Yes, we have reached an agreement on this, a Killebrew agreement with respect to time served.
That's, oh, sorry, that's also not what I had.
What?
The email you sent me was Killebrew, but no contest with Killebrew, no fines and costs.
Oh, correct. I've said my hand. We're not going to oppose fines and costs in this matter.
Just to be clear, your emails are Killebrew, no fines and costs.
How many days in does Mr. Taylor have on this?
Your Honor, he has been in since June 29th. So I can do the quick math.
On the open alcohol ticket?
Yeah, that's not solely what's holding him,
Right.
but that is wrapped in with the time.
Because he had a bond of 250, 10%, it looks like was.
Yes, Your Honor, and we did that because he was in custody and we didn't want him at that time.
All right, so how much time do you have for him?
Did you want to see the email that we got? Very common, we have done that.
Okay. That's fine. So the agreement we had reached, Your Honor, and of course, I mean, generally, the court determines fines and costs, but
Sure.
my arrangement with the public defender in these situations typically would be Killebrew fines and costs, and we would not, or Killebrew with respect to the time served, and we would not oppose a removal of the fines and costs, obviously leaving that to your discretion, knowing that we would, that's probably what would cause the public defender to accept the plea in the matter, so.
All right, so the agreement is to plead to open alcohol.
Well, I apologize, Your Honor. I think there's the email I received that I discussed with Mr. Taylor here was a no contest plea.
Okay.
With a Killebrew to no fines and costs.
And what's going to be used as the factual basis for the no contest?
I have a report here that we have reviewed and highlighted for you.
All right, perfect. So yeah, you may approach.
Thank you.
So this is a no contest to the plea, to the charge. And then we've Killebrewed to fines and costs only. And then I'm making the inquiries. How much time do we have on?
45 days, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Mr. Taylor, so you understand the nature of the allegation is to plead to the charge. Nice.
Mr. Taylor, if you stand up and move around, it'll turn back on.
Yeah, there's, I don't know if they turn off the light or
It's motion.
it's a motion. Okay. To plead to the charge, there is an agreement that you have 45 days in, so I'd give you credit for time served. And there's a Killebrew agreement of no fines and costs or limited fines and costs. Is that your understanding, sir?
Yes.
All right. All right. I'm gonna put you back in the picture so I can see you. I know that's not your fault. But the camera, can you stand up and move to your, there you go. There you go. All right. I'm gonna walk you through in this misdemeanor plea. I'm gonna walk you through some rights you have on this no contest plea. You have the right to be tried by a jury, to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, to have the prosecutor prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, to have witnesses against you appear at trial, to question any witnesses that are brought against you. You're represented today by attorney Lauren Sutter, and she'd be present to cross-examine any witnesses or contest any charges brought against you by the city of Lansing. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses appear in your defense, to remain silent during the trial, not to have that silence used against you, and to testify at trial if you choose to testify. If there's no contest plea is accepted, you'll give up the claim that the no contest plea was a result of any promises other than what we've stated on the record. You'd be giving up also the right to appeal anything from a trial, since you'll be pleading no contest to open alcohol in public instead. Is it your wish today to waive your jury trial rights and plead no contest to open alcohol in public And that is a 90, I believe open alcohol is a 90-day.
I believe it's a 90-day. Your Honor.
90-day, yeah. Is that your wish today to plead no contest to the 90-day and or 100? 500.
I think it is the default 500.
No contest and to plead to the open alcohol 90-day misdemeanor and or $500. Is that your wish today, Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
I don't know how clearly I said that. So so you'll be pleading no contest to the 90-day 500, and there's an agreement, my understanding of limited fines and costs or no fines and costs. And I'm also giving you credit for the 45 days you've served in this matter. All right, sir?
Yes.
All right. All right. I'm going to have you raise your right hand as best you can. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
All right. We're going to bring your attention back.
Your Honor, sorry,
Yes.
just a reminder, this is a no contest plea.
Oh, it is. Absolutely right. I completely forgot. I'm in possession of the LPD report for 24519044736 in this no contest plea. And the highlighted portion, and what's the purpose for the no contest plea?
Civil liability, Your Honor.
Okay, LPD indicates that on May 20th, 2024, at approximately 5:15, that would be in the afternoon, at 400 South Capitol, which is in the city of Lansing, Ingham County. And they observed Mr. Townsend, which would appear to be a beer in a brown paper bag. And then that was confirmed. Anything towards the no contest plea or me using 24519047336 as a basis for the factual basis for the open alcohol in public, Mr. Gearing?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter?
I'm satisfied.
All right. I find the no contest plea to be knowing, voluntarily, and accurately made. I'm going, any objection to immediate sentencing, Mr. Gearing?
None, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter, allocution.
Thank you, Your Honor. As the court is aware, Mr. Taylor has been in custody for some time, since at least June 24th. He does have a possible out date, but that's not for quite some time as well, about 60 days out from now. There was a discussion and I believe an agreement here that Mr. Taylor be assessed no fines, or I suppose, as the court has phrased it, low fines. He is someone who's not able to work right now, hasn't been able to for quite some time, given his incarceration. And so I would ask the court to follow that agreement today.
Thank you. I'm going to set, so no additional, I'm going to give you credit for your 45 days in the Ingham County Jail. I will follow the recommendation. So I'm gonna waive any fines and costs. And then I'll also waive the state fee and the crime victims' rights fee.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so Mr. Taylor, you're all set with this case. You've done your 45 days and your no contest. And you should have a clean slate on this file. All right, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else on the record in 2401-639, Mr. Garrett?
Nothing, Your Honor. Sorry for the confusion.
No worries. Miss Sutter.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Right. I'm going to provide the factual basis for the no contact plea
Thank you.
back. And Mr. Taylor, you're all set. Thank you for your appearance today.
Thank you.
Now, should we go, Miss Callahan?
Yes, Your Honor.
She's been waiting, and then we have Mr. Johnson. We have some, to say the least, we've only got a few left here.
Yeah, we're getting there, Your Honor.
Yeah.
And I believe Mr. Johnson, if that's Carl Johnson, he's unrepresented.
All right. All right. So, Miss Callahan, we'll call your case. So we're on the record in docket 24L2858161. That is City of Lansing versus Alana Callahan. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Gearing.
Joel Gearing on behalf of the city, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lawrence Sutter on behalf of Ms. Callahan, who joins us via Zoom.
And ma'am, you are Alana Callahan, is that correct?
Yes,
And you can hear me all right, Ms. Callahan?
yes.
All right, this is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Mr. Gehring, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we've reached an agreement to adjourn this matter for 30 days for compliance issues.
And Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
I don't know that the full 30 is necessary. 2 or 3 might do it. She's already completed what she was asked to complete. We're just trying to get the paperwork from she did a substance use assessment
Right.
and scheduled some appointments. We're looking for proof of confirmation of attendance and the assessment. So I think 2 or 3 weeks might get us through.
Well, let's do it. I noticed we've adjourned this twice before, but let's make this the final adjournment. And then if you're able to get the paperwork, we may not need that. That might change whether we need the date or the final pretrial. I don't know what the compliance measures are here.
Well, the offer is, I believe if the city is satisfied with what we provide, it will be a breach of the peace offer.
All right. So let's adjourn for 30 days. And then once that would place this right at, I think it's 90 days or June, July, August. All right. So we'll adjourn for 30 days for compliance purposes. And then if we can set this earlier, let's go ahead and set this earlier. If you get the paperwork, because we'll make time on it earlier. I know Ms. Callahan would probably be appreciative just to have this taken care of. But we'll adjourn for maximum of 30 days and then await to see if all the compliance measures are met. So we'll adjourn for 30 days on
September 10th at 9.
September 10th at 9 a.m. All right, so Ms. Callahan, you please keep in contact with the attorney, Mr. Lee, who will provide any information that the city attorney might need in regards to this file. We've set it for September 10th at 9 a.m. All right, ma'am?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else for the record in docket 24L28588161, Mr. Gehring?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter?
Nothing further.
All right, you should be all set. Thank you for your appearance today. And do you have, Ms. Sutter, anybody in custody or anybody in the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor, we have 2 gentlemen here. We have Mr. Islas Alcantara and we have Mr. Remy Lewis.
All right,
Both of whom are ready to go.
let's go on both of those and then we'll come back to Mr. Johnson. And is Mr. Johnson here?
He was, I'm not sure about that, Your Honor.
Right.
I don't represent him, but I did call his name in the hallway earlier and got no response.
All right, so
I'll
so
check
we'll
one more
call
time.
him. We'll call him. All right, so let's go. Let's go on Mr. Alcantara, Islas Alcantara.
This is your first one, right?
Um,
All right. So we're on the record in docket 21-02539 and 21-03388. That is City of Lansing versus Juan Islas Alcantara. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Gehring.
Joel Gehring on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, standing in for Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Mr. Islas Alcantara, who is standing to my right.
And sir, you are Juan Islas Alcantara, is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Mr. Gehring, how are we proceeding?
Well, Your Honor, it looks like we're here on 2 separate driving while license suspended matters. I'll make sure we're confirming that with everyone.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
2 separate driving while license suspended on each file, and then they're pretty old.
Okay, and yeah, and they're pretty old, and we have had some failure to appears in the past. I've been speaking with Ms. Sutter. I do want to see some progress on this case. I would be hesitant to adjourn, but at the same time, he's here today. That would appear to give me the idea that he's wanting to take care of this situation. We are willing, and we would agree with your approval to adjourn this just one more time with the understanding that we've got to see some progress with respect to the licensure issue. And if we see that, we're going to get back together and have some discussion on what we can do here with amending some of these.
All right, Ms. Sutter.
That's correct, Your Honor. Mr. Islas Alcantara has never had an attorney on these files before. This is his first representation by any counsel, in particular public defender's office. That is a conversation I had with Mr. Gehring. Mr. Islas Alcantara has had some communication with the Secretary of State there. At this point, I'm unsure if he'll be ultimately able to get his complete license, but I think we'd all like to see some assurance that he's making efforts towards progress there. Given that Mr. Gehring is correct, we would be requesting one last adjournment here for any possible progress towards the city being willing to make an offer here.
All right, what this I have this at 71 days. Both files, but I also have the public defender wasn't.
I believe
I don't
towards the
think
beginning of
till
this case.
2023.
I'm not even sure it's this, well, on
one of
one
them.
case, I believe, yeah, almost exactly a year ago, he
Yeah.
was appointed. He was originally denied. We were appointed on the 388 file a year ago, and just in the last month or so have filed an appearance in the 539 file after a renewed application.
But I don't have a problem adjourning it for 30 days. I just don't know how much will be done in 30 days on this matter. But if that makes a difference with with what the city is willing to offer, I don't have a problem adjourning it for 30 days. It's getting, I mean, we're getting 2 years into it at least.
Right, and there are 21 cases.
There are
Your
21
Honor.
cases.
If I can see a good faith effort, I think we can open up some discussion.
All right. So Mr. Alcantara, I'm going to adjourn this for 30 days. All right. So that you can do whatever you can in that time period to contact the Secretary of State and to make sure. But that will be the last adjournment. All right. So we'll set it for 30 days out.
September 10th at 9.
For September 9th at what time?
At 9, please.
At 9 o'clock. I'm going to set both files for that date, September 9th at 9 o'clock,
September 10th.
September 10th. That's September 9th, September 10th at 9 o'clock for the last adjournment on this file. All right, so I've set, you should get notice from my court officer. We've set it for September 10th at 9 o'clock. Anything else for the record in 21-03388 or 21-02539, Mr. Garrett?
Nothing for the city.
Ms. Sutter.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Alcantara, we'll see you on that date. Thank you for your patience. Then let's go on Mr. Lewis.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I have four files on Mr. Lewis. So we're on the record in docket 21-01-773. 21-02-635. 22-02-2237. And 23-02-950. That is the City of Lansing versus Remy Lewis. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Gehring.
Joel Gehring on behalf of the city, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, standing in for Assistant Public Defender John Lee, on behalf of Mr. Lewis, who's standing to my right.
And sir, you are Remy Lewis, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Mr. Gehring, how we proceed?
Your Honor, we've reached an agreement in this matter whereby Mr. Lewis will plead to the 02635 charges of driving while license suspended and reckless, and we will be dropping the charges in the other 3 matters.
Okay, so that's a plea to the 2102635. And I plead to the,
Driving while license suspended and reckless.
I know which one.
I think the count 1 and 2 are the same.
Oh, so that
Yes.
entire file.
I believe.
Yes,
Okay, so that's a count 1 and count 1, so that entire file, and then, so my understanding is in the entire, both counts in 2102635, and then dismissing which other files?
The 1773,
Okay,
the 02237,
okay.
and the 02950.
And is that a fair and accurate statement, Ms. Sutter?
it is, Your Honor.
All right, so my understanding is to plead as charged to both counts on 2102635. One count, so one count is punishable by 93 days and or $500, and count 2 is punishable by 93 days and or $500. Is that your understanding, Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Sutter, may I inquire of your client of his misdemeanor advice of rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Lewis, you understand you have certain rights in both of these misdemeanor files, counts 1 and count 2. And so I'll read you through your misdemeanor rights in this. All right, sir? You have the right to be tried by a jury, to be presumed innocent till proven guilty, have the prosecutor prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, to have the witnesses against you appear at trial, to question any witnesses that are brought against you. You are represented today by Attorney Lauren Sutter, and she would be present to cross-examine any witnesses or contest any charges brought against you by the city of Lansing. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
You have the right to have the court ordering witnesses appear in your defense, to remain silent during the trial, not to have that silence used against you, and to testify at trial if you choose to testify. If your plea is accepted, you'll give up the claim the plea was a result of any promises other than what's been stated on the record, or threats that it was not your choice to plead guilty. You'd also be giving up the right to appeal anything from a trial. Since you won't be having a trial today, you'll be pleading guilty to count 1 and count 2 of this file. Is it your wish today to plead to count 1 and count 2 of this file and waive your jury trial rights?
Yes.
All right. Can I have you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to bring your attention to June 26th of 2021 at the offense location of North King Boulevard, West Ottawa Street in the city of Lansing. Were you in the city of Lansing on June 26, 2021? And were you driving a motor vehicle at the time? All right. In count 1, were you operating the motor vehicle on that date and time, knowing that your license was suspended on that date?
Yes.
All right. That's count 1. Any questions concerning count 1, Mr. Garrett?
None, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter?
I'm satisfied.
All right. In count 2, while you were operating a vehicle and were operating the motor vehicle in a place open to the general public, at the time in count 2, it is alleged that you were acting recklessly or in willful or wanton, which is what it's defined as, disregard for the safety of persons or property near that same address, which is in the city of Lansing, West Ottawa and King Boulevard. Were you driving recklessly or willfully or wanton in disregard for the safety of persons or property on that date and time? All right. Anything towards a factual basis, Mr. Gehring, for
Nothing.
count 2?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank
Ms.
you.
Sutter?
I'm satisfied.
All right. I find the factual basis for count 1 and 2 being knowing, voluntarily, and accurately made. I'm going to refer this to probation, mostly because they're such old files and they're both misdemeanor files, that I'd like some report done just to see what you've done since then, because you may have done a lot that we consider for sentencing to go to your benefit, right? Your work history, things of that nature may go all to your benefit. And I think I should get to consider all that based on that was 3 years ago. So you could be in a different place now. So I am going to refer to probation. So that'll be on the 5th floor of City Hall of Lansing. So if you go right downstairs, they'll set you up with either their appointment or they'll see you, okay? And they're gonna put together a report for me. And then we'll see what options are available to us at sentencing. And the sentencing date is?
October 8th at 1:30.
October 8th at 1:30. All right, so I'll see you on October 8th at 1:30. So they'll do an updated, just be as candid as you can with them. And I'll get an updated look at that. The other files will be dismissed per negotiations of plea agreement, dismissed per the plea agreement at the successful sentencing of 21-02635. Anything else for the record, Mr. Guerin?
Nothing.
Ms. Sutter?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Lewis, you should be all set, and I'll see you on that October 8th date.
All right, thank you.
Shop for Johnson too.
I'm absolutely.
That's
We got 2 we're looking for, Your Honor.
All right.
One that Ms. Sutter will be representing, and then she's gonna do me the favor of calling for the other one.
all right.
Johnson is unrepresented and has not shown up as far as we're aware. And then Christopher Wilson. Nothing.
And dismiss.
Because he didn't show up to his control yesterday.
All right, so I have Wilson and the other one. I have Mr. Johnson. All right, here's Mr. Lewis. And then in which case are you on, Ms. Sutter?
I am appointed to Christopher Wilson.
Wilson, let's go on Wilson first and then we'll go on Mr. Johnson. So we're on the record in docket 23-00521. That is the City of Lansing versus Christopher Wilson. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Gehring.
Joel Gehring on behalf of the city.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lawrence Sutter on behalf of Mr. Wilson, who is not present at this time. And I suppose for the sake of being candid with the court, he and I were also supposed to appear together yesterday in front of Judge Simmons, and he did not appear.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a City of Lansing pretrial. Mr. Gehring, how are we proceeding?
Well, at this time, Your Honor, given the failure to appear, we would request a bench warrant.
This is a trespass case, Ms. Sutter. So what is your response?
Thank you, Your Honor. It's correct. It is a trespass case. I understand there's a non-appearance here as well as a possible history of that. I do have my paralegal on trying to make contact with him, given the non-appearance yesterday. I would ask the court to consider a 48-hour hold.
I will, and we'll do a bench warrant and bond forfeiture with a 48-hour hold, understanding that this is a trespass case and that you understand that on both files, you can bring in him if you have some contact with him, but this will go to warrant in 48 hours.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. That's all for the record in 23-00521. And then on 24 L2854801, that is City of Lansing versus Carl Johnson. Will the parties please indicate for themselves to the record? Mr. Gehring.
Joel Gehring on behalf of the city, Your Honor.
All right, this was scheduled for 9:30. It is now 11:46. And Ms. Sutter, you're not here on this case, is that correct?
Your Honor, I did not find any application within our system. I do know that there has been a recent series of arraignments done without a PD present, so I don't know if he requested one, but we do not currently have an application or an appearance for him.
I have the
Is this on Carl Johnson?
Carl M.A. Johnson.
I show Miss Wicks.
That must be on a different case. It couldn't be a city case.
Is that an open intox case?
This
It's
is,
open and talk.
okay,
This is an open intox and passenger. So this is a passenger.
Yeah.
correct.
Days of incident were 7/4.
That's
That's this
correct.
case.
I show Taylor Wicks is appointed.
So somebody filed an appearance.
Yeah, we have an appearance.
It doesn't change the end result.
So,
All right, so Ms. Sutter may or may not be appointed, or the public defender may or may not be appointed to this. But regardless, Mr. Johnson has failed to appear for the pretrial.
And yet, Your Honor, if I may, Ms. Wicks does have a case with him, but that is an ST file set before this court on the 19th.
And that would be a statutory file, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
No, I mean, it's entirely possible, a clerical error maybe.
yeah,
Regarding-
well, that they set the same ticket twice. I don't know. This is written by the city of Lansing. It's written under the city authorization, the 402.02.
See what his other ticket is. I don't show he has I don't show he has an ST case. I only show the OT case.
Okay,
Let me see if it got entered and corrected. One moment, please.
Yeah, it looks like it must be a clerical error of some kind, but the application within our office is it was signed off on by Mr. Stephen Cornish for a pretrial hearing on August 19th for an open intoxicants in public by passenger.
That's what we have here, but we do not have a state case. We only have the OT. There is no ST. In fact, he has no STs, period.
in the court system.
In our
So
system.
so we should find out exactly. That may be,
Would the court consider, rather than the 48-hour hold, given it looks like at some point he was told the 19th, would the court consider holding any bench warrant until the 19th?
this is an open intox, so I don't have a preference. Yeah. So just to make sure that they're, I think I think it's the same file.
It must
Yeah.
be.
So I think it's the same file, or else it is the most coincidence that's ever occurred that you picked up 2 tickets on the same date, which may have happened. I don't know.
Because outside of the file designation, it appears to be the same number, the
This
4801.
This is written on the side, 24 L28 54801 OT.
Yes, and for some reason that's in our system as ST set for hearing on the 19th, and
Yeah.
Taylor Wicks has been appointed to it.
All right, so let's do the defendant failed to appear for pretrial, bench warrant and bond forfeiture, but place on hold until August 19th is the time set for the second pretrial. Is that right?
It looks like when he was arraigned, the date he was given for his first pretrial was August 19th.
All right. So let's put it on hold, and then if he shows up, then I have some real concerns that he was given the wrong date.
Right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Just so you know, Judge, there is no notice of hearing in the computer that says the 19th. So his notice should have been right, if nothing else, that he was given an arraignment.
Now I'm afraid that he's gonna show up on that. He was giving the second to arraignment August 2nd, pretrial conference August 13th, which is today.
Which he was given at arraignment.
Well, let's put it on hold until let's see what comes up on August 19th.
Thank you. And I'll try getting a hold of him. today
Right,
to see.
so, so he knows he has till August 19th. If you're not able to get a hold of him, we'll issue it, then that'll be the,
Fair enough.
yeah, that'll be so that's a week, that's Monday.
Yes,
Are we
Your Honor.
agreeing the public defender does represent him just for the?
I think they do because an appearance has been filed, and it's more just for straightening it up for,
I'll reach out to my administration. It looks like we filed an appearance in a case that doesn't exist on our ST file, so
Right.
I'll talk to Ms. Bushi about an amended appearance,
Right.
because it can't be Taylor Wicks either.
all right. And I'm reluctant to issue an immediate bench warrant on this day with the understanding that at least the public defender has conflicting information, which Mr. Johnson may have conflicting information. we can straighten it all up on the 19th. If he doesn't appear on the 19th, then we have our answer. All right, anything else for the record in docket 24 L2854801, Mr. Gary?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Sutter.
Nothing further.
All right, you should be all set. Thank you for your appearance today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll talk to Taylor. Something weird happened there.
I'm sorry, Taylor.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, no, I
It
got,
happens.
Instruction.
We didn't have a lot of cases today, but they all had their own thing.
Works.
Yeah,
Their own
they had their
little,
own thing going on.
their own little
Yep.
special twist that made it
Yeah.
unique.
Well, thank you for your assistance today.
Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Wicks, you can go watch the trial now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see it. Judge Simmons kept stopping me in the hall to give me
Updates?
something or updates, however you like to phrase it on what was going, so I'm gonna